Come and listen to us, it's the Keith and the Girl Show.
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Let's go over the itinerary for this week. There's a lot going on. Tonight, we will be in the chat room, keithandthegirl.com/chat. If you're there and you want to play poker, you can. Otherwise, we're all just chatting just the same. And quite frankly, it's the goddamn best. We started it during at the beginning of the pandemic, right?
Yeah, it was just a way to, since we were all quarantined, basically, it was a way to connect, break up the week, and it turned into a saving grace.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe in that word, but something like, you get it. It's a tone that I'm speaking.
There's been laughter, crying. It was very helpful. And so we're going to keep it going. For those interested in poker, by the way, we closed the last club and started a new one. So let's say the ranking is important or fun to you. Now is a great time to join. So come by the chat party, grab all the info. You're invited. It's all free. This Saturday night, you have your wall calendar? I'll be competing in silent trailers against Jordan Morris, Ashley Gavin, Sarah Levine, and Kyle Acasio. Get your tickets at keithandthegirl.com/tickets and see them before they commit suicide over their embarrassing loss, okay? On Monday, meet me at OMAT Club. You deserve it. If you're curious about it, stop hesitating. What am I talking about? Look at it. keithandthegirl.com/OMAT. You know what? Use code HALF, HALF. Get half off. Here's an email I'd like to read to you. This is from Kev.
Hey, Kev.
It says, hey, Kev. Keith and Chemda.
That's me.
I am double vaxxed and ready to party. Just
Hell
kidding
yeah.
about the party part.
Fair.
I'm slowly trying to figure out what my new outside norm will look like.
Oh, isn't it weird?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. We're fully vaxxed and in the clear, and I'm like, I still am not ready to take big strides, big steps. Keith invited me to a barbecue. I just cried. So it's very tough to make decisions right now.
The pandemic has been very scary to me, he writes. I was having trouble the entire time staying above water physically, financially, and emotionally. I joined BetterHelp.com.
Nice.
In parentheses, using the code KATG, of course. And now that my fog is slowly lifting, I can see that Keith and the Girl was the only thing I was looking forward to for a long time. Oh, you were a light in the darkness of the past year and a half.
Oh my God. You said and I'm like, right. It's like, I was feeling this letter like, yes, I get it. Yes. Keith and the Girl was what I was looking forward to also.
Right. Thank you for continuing to bring funny into our daily lives. Your, in parentheses, sometimes twisted views.
Fair.
Give me relief and remind me that not everything is complete garbage. Well,
and not everything is completely straight. Sometimes it's twisted. Let's go on the ride.
My therapist knows how important you are to me, and now I hope that you do too. Thanks for all you do. Listener of 3 years and just signed up for my free trial of VIP. See you at Silent Trailers. Thanks for the free ticket. Shout out to Xerxes.
Yes.
Kev.
Okay, Kev, I'm going to tell my therapist about you also. This is going to be a mutual relationship starting now. This is great.
And Chemda uses BetterHelp, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I just switched my counselor.
Good for you.
Yeah. This counselor said, and I'm pretty much good. Like the last session was pretty short, and I feel like he's more philosophizing with me than actually getting into more stuff because I feel like he thinks there's not anything else to dig into. Right. I'm going to get a second opinion. Why not?
Yeah. Find somebody that knows a different way to find different stuff in your brain. Why not?
Exactly. Yeah. And if that person wants to tell me there's nothing to talk about, great. I don't know where I'm going from there. All I know is I pressed a button and now I get to shop.
Yeah. In real life, they sit you down. They're like, you have to tell me why you don't work with me. It's like, well, I have issues of confrontation. You trickster.
Right.
Exactly. And I'll see you Tuesday. Oh, you're good.
Yes. And with this one, with the last one I switched, that was, months and months ago when I first started. I had a couple sessions with her and I switched. I didn't really say anything. With this one, I had a relationship with him. I was like, it has been really nice to talk to you. And I feel like, the last couple of sessions, we didn't really have much stuff to talk about. So I'm going to cut it off now. And he was like, great. See you. Whatever he said it nicely,
See, you wouldn't want to be you.
Right. It's like, all right, peace.
So take a look at BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com/KATG. You knew Chemda before BetterHelp. A fucking mess. BetterHelp.com/KATG. Get 10% off your first month. BetterHelp.com/KATG. All right. Here we are. Today's guest, comedian, writer, musician, illustrator. comedy videos I've seen on Pitchfork, Funny or Die. You're gonna like her a lot. The podcast, paranormal podcast. It's called Ghosts to Show You. Emily Panic.
Yay.
Hi, Emily.
Hi. Thanks
you
for
doing?
having me.
Good to see you. I think you're hilarious. I also like your podcast. You just did your season finale,
Yes.
right? Which again, I didn't know you can do that when podcasting started. That's what you have 23 episodes and the season's done. I would love to say I'm on season number 149. Wait,
Yeah.
we blew it.
I mean, we're sort of just making it up as we go along. We were doing the podcast for 2 years, and then we were like, I think we should take some time and just like bank some episodes so that we're not releasing them sporadically. So we're like, let's just call it a season finale, the endless season that ended. So
You know what? That's what we should do every time we take a break, because we recently
Yeah.
took a week off. It was, what was it? Memorial Day something. Oh, July 4th.
Right.
Whatever. It's all made up anyway. So we
Mhm.
took the week off, and somebody commented like, how much time are they going to take off? And I'm like, dude, do you never take a vacation at work? We decided that the week where we might have one less show, that's the week we take off. So we sort of put it together. But part of me is like, oh my God, you miss me that much? You're reacting like my mother. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
My mother's just like, how come you never call me? Why? I'm like, because when I talk to you, all you say is, why don't you ever call me? I'm here now. Everything's cool.
I mean, I assume that you podcast more than you call your mother, though, and with more consistency. Am I wrong?
Oh,
Emily,
God, yeah.
I
feel
am your
really
BetterHelp counselor now.
I feel really seen. Yes.
In this, it's a paranormal podcast, and you're
Mhm.
you're dying, no pun, to find ghosts, and
Yes.
you haven't.
No.
And you'll go in you'll stay in like a haunted hotel or a haunted house, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And do you believe in ghosts?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Is it offensive they're not saying hi? You're going out of your way, or are you too eager?
You know, I don't actually think I am that eager. It's like every time I book one of these trips to go stay in a haunted place, I tell my husband that I'm scared, and I am scared. And part of me doesn't really want anything to like pop up, but I do it anyway. So it's kind of like when you watch a scary movie and, you know, you like the way that I watch scary movies, which is kind of like with my eyes averted. And then every now and then I look up and then I like turn the volume all the way down.
Right.
Like
That's
I still
how I
enjoy being scared, but I also don't want to be like fully scared.
That's how I watch action films, because at this point it's so gory and so fucked up. And even back in the day, American History X, this is the one movie I have not seen it in its entirety, but I've seen several times, and I always turn my head away with the curb
stomp,
stomping
yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah.
I've
that's-
never seen that scene once. I cannot handle it.
I think you'll be fine not seeing it.
You get it, right?
That's how I feel.
His jaw breaks. You get it.
Mhm.
When you're in a Halloween haunted house, do you do that? And can you get into it?
I don't do that regularly because I don't trust like real people. Like I did it once in Coney Island, and there was some kid who was chasing me, and he had a mask on and like a fake chainsaw.
Oh.
And I was like, all right, you're actually a little close. You're sort of crossing a boundary here. Maybe just back up.
Is it offensive when people try to talk to ghosts and they go, ooh?
No one likes that, right?
Like that's
When
any
ghosts do
language in any
that?
past lives.
when humans do it. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that phenomenon specifically, but I think it's fine. I mean, whatever works, as long as you're not like dissing them. Like, you know, in horror movies when someone's like, fine, like, I don't believe in ghosts anyway, like show yourself or whatever. And then the ghost's like, all right, dude. And then they die or something. I don't know. I'm not thinking of a specific movie, but I think it's a thing.
I've been on dates in haunted houses, and I can't get into it because I know it's fake. But the date always can, and it must be, you know, they're just able to put themselves in that situation. But sometimes they'll come with the fake chainsaw, and the woman would be like, "Stop! Make him stop!" I'm like, should I punch him?
You're like, make them stop. Like, I paid $20. I'm not telling them to stop. Like,
Right.
getting my money's worth.
Would you look in a mirror for fun and say Candyman 5 times, for example?
I think I would, because that's not real. Because that is just a movie, right?
But how
Right.
can you tell what's real?
I mean, yeah, I have no idea. I probably pushed the boundaries of that. Like we did an episode in New Jersey, and Weird New Jersey is a great magazine, and we use them as our primary resource. And anyway, we learned about this road called Pig Lady Road, and you're supposed to drive down it, and then you like park at the end of the dead end road, and you flash your lights a certain number of times and honk and like yell pig lady, and then you have to turn around and drive away, and she's supposed to show up in your rear view mirror. And I was terrified to do that, but I did do it, and then we almost hit a possum.
I have
So might have been a sign.
I have such a good idea for a costume. How much would I bug people out if I got some sort of pig lady costume? And once I heard you people honking, and I hope nobody lives around there with the flashing of the lights and the honking.
I think there are. Well, it was a pretty dark, weird road. It was like a lot of industrial stuff actually, but I'm sure there are streets like that people go and they do the thing, and the people who live there are like, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but I'm sure that stuff is annoying to living people.
Did Pig Lady show up?
No, but we almost hit a possum. She might have sent, her understudy. I'm not sure.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the Jesus fucking Christ thing I like about your podcast. It's I like that the time's all different, and I mean it. Like you might have only 23 minutes of ghost stuff to talk about. You might have an hour and a half of ghost stuff to talk about, and that's the beauty of podcasts. What bothers me about podcasts a lot, is that they think, I think they think they have to be radio, and they still have their 15-minute segments. Cut it off no matter what. You know what? I was listening to, and let me explain, but I was listening to Megyn Kelly's podcast, and I only heard the last one.
My nemesis.
Sure, I saw your face. Right. That's what I want to say. But, and I don't listen to it normally, but I did listen to it because I knew the guest that was on it. And coincidentally, she happened to be trending because I heard, as I happened to hear live or whatever, when it came out, she said that the media exaggerated how bad the insurrection was, that she didn't like it, but it wasn't really that bad. But anyway, also each segment was still 15 minutes. And sometimes she goes, we'll be right back. We're going to cut to commercial. And immediately she's back, meaning you set aside that time. There was no commercial after all. And you're restricting yourself instead of knowing the free form that it can be.
Yeah. I mean, I also edit and produce that podcast, and my general rule is that you only edit it down to like the good parts that are funny or interesting, because otherwise you're going to end up with a lot of shit that you should be editing out.
Now, what makes you believe in ghosts? All of these attempts to get in touch with them or see them or know them, that hasn't happened.
Right. I mean, they might not exist, but yeah, I tend to believe that they exist. I don't know. I read about it a lot. I know a lot of people who have firsthand encounters. It's not like, I don't know. I mean, but it just as easily could not be true. I don't claim to know what is real, but it's just something I think feels like it probably is real.
Do you think if you saw a ghost, it would change your life?
I think it might.
I think it's all I'd be able to study. I'd be like, oh, there is a real other world. Well, okay, it might be important to look into.
Yeah. I just don't understand why these other worlds always only visit the few. And that, because I can believe in that. I believe that there's other stuff in there that we're not seeing because our vision, it's just very narrow because these are our eyes. That's what we have to use. But I don't like, just like in religion, I don't like the priest gets to talk to God and you tell me who spoke to God. Like he suddenly goes like, oh, you know what? God spoke to me. And then that's the answer. So my problem is like the individuals that get to have this experience are so random.
Right.
And why can't if we all have the same human body and mind, why can't we all have this direct line to this other thing? What are these people doing right that we're not doing?
That's I feel like there's a lot of answers to that question. And also, like, I'm not an expert, but I have spoken to experts. But I think it depends on like the spirit or the entity possibly wanting to present itself to you. I'm sure there are people that vibrate on a different frequency or like somehow are more open to it. Like, I don't know, their aura is more open to it. Like sometimes I think it is just dumb chance, because a lot of the people that I've spoken to about experiences that they've had are not people that believe in ghosts, and often they still don't believe in ghosts even after they've had an experience, but they're like, but I cannot explain what happened to me. That happened. I still don't believe that ghosts necessarily exist, but I can't deny that this thing happened to me.
Maybe a woman pressed her face on a mirror, then years later, the image just appeared in my bedroom, and I don't believe.
Sure.
Well, that's, yeah. You know what? Maybe it's denial. So that, like I said, it would change my life. And to be like, where are you at for the show today? The show?
Show's not
I met
important
your
anymore.
dead grandma. Who gives a fuck? What would you like to know about your mom? I can find out through the grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
That would be
to me.
huge for you guys. You would have to start a new season of your show if that happened.
Absolutely.
The whole format has to change.
AG after ghosts.
It would be so sad if a ghost was trying to get to know me, but my mother never tried. The channels are open, so I don't know.
Right. Well, you definitely have nothing but time now, I guess, if you're a ghost. There's
Yeah.
not soap operas and stuff, there's nothing else. You, by the way, you've been with your husband for easily over a decade. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Married fairly recently.
Yeah. Almost 3 years ago. My prenup kicks in after 3 years.
Well, congrats.
Thank you.
Your husband is LP from Run the Jewels, which
That's
is
correct.
How good is that music, right?
It's good. It's good. A lot of people don't know I wrote all of that. That's all me. It's me rapping too.
When I heard the lines, I smoke kush, I eat puss, I wondered if that was the wife writing it. No, but I'm like, I do that. I don't run jewels per se, but I do smoke kush. I do eat puss.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like these guys are from a different background than me, but I can relate,
Yeah, kush and puss are just universal things that I think we can all get behind.
I give tongue kisses on Hot Pockets. I do that too. I get it. I love that. How did you learn anything new during the pandemic when he can't do shows? You can't go out and perform. You're stuck in, where did you go, first of all, for the majority of it?
We have a house upstate, which is where he makes those albums, the Run the Jewels albums. So we went up there, and that was pretty much where we stayed for most of the time.
What a relief that you have that, right?
Yes. Yes. We're very lucky.
Yeah, it just space alone, and because he gets to be creative, and you could bring your creativity to there, it just gives you a little more room to be in a normal space.
Yeah, I don't think either of us found the pandemic to be a particularly creative time, but at least we had like more room to like scream into our, separate pillows or whatever.
Right. And anything other than obviously the regular stress and death, but was there something like, oh man, I never realized you chew like that, but like every meal?
I don't think I discovered anything new about him, although we did spend more time together for a longer period of time than ever.
I discovered, for example, my boyfriend uses half the thing of dishwasher fluid, of dish fluid, yes, to clean the dishes every time.
Oh,
and it's a small bottle. It's a small bottle, but I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. Now, he can hear me from the other room, but
you're getting a bubble bath every dish.
Because you have to start doing the math of this is essentially, because, we buy in bulk, we move it to the small thing. I would even bring it up for 50 cents different. And it's not the money. It's a curiosity, but it's like, is this the conversation I want to have? No, just with you guys.
I mean, this is literally what I talk to my therapist about, because we get into fights over things like, I'm like, can you turn the water off when you're scrubbing the dish because you're wasting water? You don't leave it running. Like, actually, I'm not OCD, but I am slightly obsessive compulsive about things like cleaning and things like that. So yeah, all of that was very present throughout the pandemic. I was just on him like a hawk every time he tried to do anything. So I think he maybe learned some things about me.
By the way, speaking of Run the Jewels, how great are the album titles?
So great, so original.
Run the Jewels 2, Run the Jewels 3, Run the Jewels 4.
Yeah.
You know that you could definitely tell the progression, and I enjoy that part of it. And during the pandemic, to stay sane, you got the two of you had a podcast together, Panducto Corncast.
Yes.
Where one person makes the other person watch a movie they've never seen. For example, she would be forced to watch Predator, The Untouchables. He's got to watch First Wives Club, The Santa Claus. This didn't test the marriage more?
No, I think it definitely did. I think I think I have a much like greater capacity to watch. Well, he would argue that his movies are actual like good classic movies, which I feel the same about my movies, but I have a greater capacity to watch those movies that he loves, even though like Predator, I think it was kind of boring. Terminator was fun, but it like I don't really get into action movies, but he absolutely detests like the teen rom-coms that I was showing him or like the First Wives Club. So yeah, I would say that did test the boundaries for sure.
It seems like sometimes you guys push it too, like the Santa Claus. He has to, but then at the same time, the first movie he had you see was Terminator. Then the follow-up, Terminator 2, was his next pick.
Yeah.
This is like some of these movies are you're like, just cheat on me. Why you?
I mean, it was Christmas time, and the Santa Claus was one of my favorite movies as a kid. And I also like part of the criteria too is that sometimes Jamie will be like, there's a movie that you haven't seen, but it's too good. We won't even be able to make fun of it. And I'm like, I think I could probably find a way, but you know, like a movie that like the Santa Claus that I love, but isn't technically a good movie is more fun because then we can both still make fun of it.
Now, do you go extra? Because I tend to go extra. My boyfriend agreed to watch all of Gilmore Girls, including the,
God.
10 years later or whatever amount of time. I know. I understand. I gave him an out several times. He committed to it.
It sounds like he just really wants to watch Gilmore Girls.
Right.
Like he's been waiting for an excuse to watch Gilmore Girls. I love Gilmore Girls. The 10 years later and the last season aren't my thing, but it wouldn't be enjoyable for me to make my husband watch that because he would be very vocally upset. Like not in a funny way. He would just be really upset.
And I get that. And he's not upset, but at the end of it, I tend to push it. At the end of the episode, I go, huh? And he's like, what? Now I have to also share feelings about this? Like I saw the episode, I go, but can we? And now I'm comparing him to Luke and me to Lorelai.
Sure. And then, hair.
Well, I start making the mistake of acting like whatever Luke is doing, he's doing. I'm like, well, why would you say that to her? And he's like, can we just start with I didn't? And then, maybe I can have this conversation with you. And I'm like, well, I'm just saying you could have been a little more empathetic. He's like, I am not Luke. I do not do. I'm like, but it's very similar. Wouldn't you say?
You don't think I know Kierkegaard because a 16-year-old does. So why do you think I'm Luke? I'm pouring coffee. By the way, how is therapy going, if I may be so bold?
My therapy?
Yeah. You doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's the main issue?
People not minding their own business.
Yeah. Nosy podcasters.
These dumb movies I gotta see.
No. I truly like a big part of it is me always feeling the need to like make corrections and being like, oh, you're kind of doing that wrong. I would prefer, okay, this is how I would do that. Like when it comes to things around the house in general, like cleanliness, messiness, organization, that is honestly the biggest thing that I talk about.
That makes so much sense.
Social anxiety is a big part of it too, but currently social anxiety is out and whatever you want to call my whatever behavior.
Does the therapist say like, it's a deeper issue? And it's like, well, how about he just does this and then we see?
We have discussed it ad nauseum. And actually, very recently, my husband's therapist was like, can I talk to her therapist?
Whoa.
And I was like, they can do that? Yes. Right. They haven't done it yet, but I think it's going to happen. But we just have to sign some papers. I'm like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, go argue for us. Let us know who wins, and we'll
Right.
just go with that.
Yeah, your therapist comes back like a lawyer. We lost.
Yeah.
He'll do the dishes how he fucking does the dishes.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
them, apparently. You didn't tell me you were never doing them.
Right.
Yeah, he's wasting a little water. You don't use any.
Yeah, no, I have no, there are potentially some unforeseen consequences to this arrangement that I haven't thought of, but I'm willing to roll the dice. I think it sounds like a great idea.
Oh, I love that so much. Can you suggest that they record it and give it to you? Because
Ooh.
that's part of it. Like when I had surgery, I'm like, can I have a copy of whatever it is you're about to do? Now they weren't very interested in that, but I didn't push, but it was a question. I also asked to take my tumor home. They were not interested in that either.
You should call and go, how's the studying been going? It's been so many years now since my tumor. What'd you learn?
That they might tell me.
Yeah, like are
That
there
sounds like fun.
follow-ups? Then I won it. You have 10 years and I get it back if you didn't figure out anything for anybody.
I just had a beautiful vision in my mind of what I would do if I saved my tumor. And you know how they used to always make things out of lucite in the 60s? That's like, imagine your tumor entombed in lucite, like a paperweight. I mean, that sounds gorgeous to me.
So many
5-pound paperweight.
possibilities.
So many
That could be a whole
possibilities.
Etsy venture, something that someone
Yeah,
needs
and-
to get on.
With words of like encouragement, like gratitude. This isn't in your body anymore. Like that's always something to remember. Hey,
Yeah, we can workshop
having a
that
bad
part,
day?
but
you don't have a tumor.
Well, she's not on the phone right now with the lucite company.
yeah,
That's all right.
we'll see how much the etching costs because we want to. I don't have the budget in front of me for this venture, but
I follow Emily's tweets. You can too. It's at a pretty big mouth. And she writes, every week after therapy, I announce to my husband that I'm fixed. We both share a hearty chuckle followed by a long sigh. Oh, us. We're a mess. Here's one I enjoyed fairly recently. So let me know what happened. Montezuma's revenge, more like Montezuma's warm embrace. I'm having the best BMs of my life here in Mexico. Have eaten nothing but fruit since I got here. Sorry for this tweet. Did you just come back from Mexico?
I didn't expect to have my tweets read to me on the air.
People really
yes.
think it's a diary, don't they? Read it and then just shh.
No,
Don't ask me
I'm
what I was
happy to
thinking.
discuss my BMs and Mexico. Yes, I went to Mexico recently. My grandma lives there with my uncle. My family is Panamanian on my mom's side. So she's from Panama, lives in Mexico now. She's basically a vegetable, but she is still alive. She has a pacemaker. So anyway, we went to go visit them. And yes, I was thinking about it while I was shitting, which is when we're often looking at Twitter, right?
Of course.
Because I was having a good BM and I was like, people always talk about how Mexico like gives you diarrhea, but I feel great. This seems healthy. So
Excellent. So what's everybody complaining about?
right. I think that Mexico should probably let me be their, help with their publicity.
The
I guess
spokesperson.
I'm available.
You're the what do they call it when you're you represent a country?
What is something like attaché, but not attaché?
She's the BM attaché. Exactly. She wrote, showed my friend a picture of a bag of my own piss the other night at the bar. So maybe things are opening up too quickly here in NYC. All right, so we're learning everything. Why did you have urine in a bag?
Okay.
Doctors don't ask for urine in a bag, do they?
No, they usually provide you with a cup. It's part of the cost. Yeah. They don't make you bring your own. I actually have it right here. Okay. So
it'd be less gross if there was a tumor there, but go ahead.
It's not my piss. It's okay. So I have these things. They're called Travel Jane by Travel John. And what happens is you pull this part out. Okay. So it's a bag and it has this like silica gel in the bottom. And you pee into this and you can see this is for a lady to
it's a vagina opening, right? Or
the pee
bottom.
hole.
Yeah.
And it turns it into a solid. So a friend of mine who goes to Burning Man gave me one once. And I used to tour all the time. I tour as a musician and a comedian. And I'm always the one that makes us pull over the van, and sometimes when things are closed, you end up pulling over on the side of the road and pissing on the side of the road. I pee a lot. So I had one of these in my car and I recently had to use it. I was parked in Brooklyn somewhere and I peed in the bag. And I took a picture of it because I was like, oh, I've never used one of these things before. Like, this is the first time. And it went off without a hitch. It was great. It turns into a solid. It doesn't smell. You throw it out later.
Are you using it now more, like even at home?
No, I'm not. But I do keep them on hand in case I ever need one. And so, yeah, I took a picture of it and then I just showed my friend Shane at the bar and he was like, well, that's disgusting. And I was like, I think it's pretty cool. And then
cool.
I tweeted about it.
Does it turn into like Jello or is it fully hard?
No, it's like somewhere in between a Jello and a complete solid. It's not like I don't think I could hit an intruder in the head with it. You know,
but you can try.
Well, yeah, you could try to just dump the contents. But no, it's like sort of soft. But the point, I guess, is that, you know, you have this bag of piss and it doesn't spill out.
Yeah. What's it called?
It's called Travel Jane.
Okay.
By Travel John. And I would love a sponsorship also.
I would like to call it Solid P.
Yeah. Well, that's the end result.
I'm always at the goal. I got to slow down. I love this because during the long rides on my bike, I don't want to go into a public bathroom or there is no public bathroom. So I've peed in parks and sides of things. And then you just kind of get on your bike again and it feels stupid, but yeah.
You got to do it.
This is really nice.
Do they have them in blue? I don't want to look like a weirdo when I'm pissing in the park.
I don't know. I'm going to reach out to a spokesman from the company after this and see what we can do for you.
All right. Here's another tweet that I need a little more information on, please. In the last 2 days, I have flipped off and in one case gotten into a shouting match with 3 drivers who nearly ran me over. Feeling truly alive. New York City is back, baby. How aggressive do you get?
I only get aggressive if I'm pushed, I think. I think that's true. Sound off in the comments, but if I've been aggressive to you. No, there's this part, there's a street near me where I walk my dogs. Like I walk my dogs to the water and there's this one street that's very busy and there's like a bike lane that has 2 lanes going and then also, cars and there's no crosswalk. So, you know, it's happened multiple times that I'm walking 2 dogs and it's kind of like it's not as easy to just like run across when you have 2 dogs in tow. So there'll be a car that's like, in my opinion, far enough away to see me crossing and to slow down. But then they maintain their speed and then they get really pissed at me when I'm still walking there.
Are you in LIC or do I just think everybody lives where I live?
No, I'm in Williamsburg.
Oh, okay. Oh, right across the bridge.
And this one particular time you're able to catch up to the car?
No, he had to stop and he was honking at me while I was crossing the road and he had to come to a short stop and I screamed at him and he yelled something out the car. It wasn't like,
what do you scream?
I just was like, there's no crosswalk, man.
Right. Cause you didn't know if you could curse.
That's right. That's right. Well, I had also as he almost hit me, I had my finger up, just like very, it was for a pretty extended period of time that I had my middle finger up. So
do you black out or do you, do you know what you're doing right away?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't help it. Yeah.
No, I absolutely am in control of my emotions at all times.
Are you satisfied with your reaction to it? Are you like, yeah, okay, I'm glad I said something. Now he knows.
I don't think satisfaction is part of it. I didn't feel satisfied, but I felt fine about it. I mean, I was just pissed. Because I was like, motherfucker, there are people walking here. So just slow down. Like what? I've just been noticing a lot of aggression, I think, on the road from drivers as a pedestrian and as a driver.
I feel like it's like eating too much dessert with me, where it's like, oh, that was good. Oh, that was bad. So like a biker almost hit me, kept walking, gave the middle finger as he kept going. I'm with my girlfriend and her stepkids, and I yelled, "I saw that!" And then I'm like, oh, so that was great. But then I'm like, what did I just do? I saw that?
Yeah. It's never clever when you're like reacting in the moment. I mean, me just being like, there's no crosswalk. I wasn't like, you piece of shit, mother, whatever. Right. I wasn't like that. I was just like, it was almost like I was explaining myself like, hey, there's no crosswalk. I just have to cross. I just
Yeah,
have
you
to choose a
guys are-
time to cross.
You guys are just yelling fun facts. Like,
Yeah,
fun
I
fact,
saw
there's
that.
no crosswalk. Fun fact, I saw that. I think we should say, you're hurting my feelings.
Yeah, that's
See what
essentially,
happens.
that is
Right.
essentially what I was saying.
We should be on the same page.
Yeah.
You're a bartender now. Is that correct or not correct?
No, my bar closed with
Right.
COVID, Max Fish, and I am not a bartender now.
Oh, Max Fish. Lots of stories, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe Max Fish for us?
Sure. Max Fish, and I do think Max Fish is going to come back. So Max Fish is an old New York City staple, Lower East Side bar. Traditionally, it was a skater bar, artists bar. It's where I met my husband in the year 2010, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but so it's like a whole community of like artists and Lower East Side weirdos and a lot of skaters and stuff.
So this is close to, we've mentioned the place Surf Reality that was on the Lower East Side, which is actually where me and Keith met. This is kind of around the corner from there. Do you remember Collective Unconscious or Surf Reality? It's before 2010. It's more in the 90s. No?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Max Fish was sort of part of, that was one of the places that people would hang out, at Surf Reality and Collective Unconscious.
Did you get hit on more being a bartender there or working in a comic book store?
Comic book store.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
I
get
think so.
tested in a comic book store? Like, well, do you know this or do you know that?
Yes. So I used to work at St. Mark's Comics, which is also closed
Holy
now.
shit. I mean, these are all
Yeah,
staples of New York and
absolutely.
part of a little bit of the underground world of it, especially like St. Mark's, not the way it is now, but
Yeah.
in the history
Totally.
of New York. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I worked at St. Mark's Comics, the owner would have it was called like a back issue boy or a guy, and it was always a guy. And he was the one who was expected to be knowledgeable about comics. So he would be working in the back by the back issues. And in general, he would just have women at the front who would greet you, take your stuff because you could not carry your bag around. Everybody had to check your bag.
Are they known as thieves? Are comic book readers thieves?
I just think because it was on St. Mark's Place and it was not just comic book readers and they didn't just have comic books. I think that he had been there long enough to be like cynical in general,
Okay.
Shrewd and cynical. And so he was just like, no, you can't have your bag in the store. You can't steal shit. So anyway, I was not expected to be knowledgeable, and I was reasonably knowledgeable about the comics that I read, not superhero stuff. But the owner would be like, no, that's okay. Like, you just like handle the front. We're going to get, Darius in the back is going to talk to them.
Did people
about
get
that.
mad at you for not knowing?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember anybody getting mad at me, but
Did they ever try, like, you'll be the person explaining a comic and they're like, no, Emily, people are into Thor, not Nazi mice. All right, go back and
no, I don't think that ever happened. But
what's the funnest or most unique way that somebody hit on you?
So this guy one time came in and he was like, I'm looking for a comic book. And I was like, okay. And so I relished the chance to try to show off my comic book knowledge if I could, because I didn't always get the opportunity. So I was like, okay, I'm ready. Like, describe it to me. And he was like, it's about a guy that goes into a comic book store. And I was like, yeah, sounds like it might be an Image comic. I'm not sure. And then he kept going on and he is like, and he sees a cute girl working there and she has a bob with bangs or whatever he said. And I was like, oh yeah, we don't carry that.
Right.
That's going to be how everybody rejects people from now on. Sorry, I don't carry that.
Yeah.
Right. You want to go out? I don't have that book.
Yeah.
Okay, but that, I got to admit, that would be cute if one were interested in that person.
No, he had a pretty sleazy vibe. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was never hit on it by anybody that was like hot at the comic book store. Shocker. I know.
Do you follow the superhero stuff? Do you see the movies? Run the Jewels even had a track on the Venom soundtrack.
Yeah. They've done they've done a few collaborations with, I don't know if it's been Marvel or DC, but they've been in a few of the comics. But no, I do not read superhero comics. I read alt comics. Like, well, I don't even really read comics that much anymore, but like historically speaking, like Tank Girl or like, Dan Klaus, Ghost World, Milk and Cheese.
Did you see the Tank Girl movie?
Oh yeah.
What'd you think?
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I think it's great. I
Did
love
you ever-
Lori Petty.
Did you think there'd be a time where Lori Petty would be at one of these conventions and Chemda would walk by even though nobody was there and she refused to even look in Chemda's direction, even though Chemda was in love with her, until she put $40 into the jar right next to her, and then she would pay attention like a robot? But that never happened because Chemda found it too petty. Did you ever think, no pun, did you ever think there'd be a world like that?
Did that happen?
It did. Now that I think about it, yeah.
Lori Petty was like rude
Petty.
to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Damn.
keep spreading that, because the way I see it is it's one moment in her life. You know what I mean? And I don't want to base everything, because she does seem very cool. And so I don't want to base everything in that
Right.
1 minute of
You never
her.
know what her day was like before that, or like who
And
the
also
last
she's-
person was that she
Yeah,
saw at that
she's
convention.
She's clearly there to make money. And if that's what her money situation is, I don't know. It's very tough to judge, but
Yeah.
she was
that sucks.
dismissive, and I was very excited to see her face. I'm like, that's Tank Girl, and the movie with the surfers. That's fucking cool.
Deliberately
And League of
moving
Their
her
Own.
back to her League of Her Own, of course.
Oh
what
my
I
God,
what I didn't
yes.
tell you is that Chemda said, "Hey, let me know if you've heard of this comic book."
And Lori was like, I've heard this one before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a situation like that too at a comic book convention. I approached the comic book author Jaime Hernandez, who did Love and Rockets, which was one of my favorite comics. Maggie and Hopi were these two characters, and I went up and I had him sign a free comic. I didn't actually buy one of his books, but I have them. But anyway, I had him like sign a free comic and draw a little picture of Hopi. And I think I gushed to him a little bit, and he was just like, whatever, like everybody here loves my comic anyway. I mean, he didn't say that, but he just was like, he just didn't care. He was
Right.
just, so.
I don't see how somebody can come up to you and be like, holy shit, you're you. And you're like, it's me again.
Yeah, especially when you're Lori Petty. I mean, I love her. I love like 2 movies with her in it, but she's not Meryl Streep.
Can you imagine
Wait.
somebody goes to your husband, "Oh, I love your music so much." It's like, yeah, duh, backstage passes were $300. I would think so.
My God. No. Yeah, he would never do that. I'm sure people have had, I know that people have had experiences with him where he wasn't as nice as probably they wanted, but I don't think it was in a situation. I think it's when, I've seen people walk up to him and just like take a picture of him with a flash without asking, and just completely cross boundaries. So I know that happens to famous people too. So
I know it also, it's when I wasn't comfortable, and it's still not very comfortable, you sort of get off stage and someone's like, oh, you did that really well or whatever. And I dismissed it because I'm like trying to be humble. And it turns out I'm dismissing something instead of just going, thank you, thanks for coming.
yeah.
And so I'd be like, no, you're wrong. And let me tell you why.
Right.
Now we're having like a little slideshow about how I truly sucked and you don't have taste. So
Yeah. Self-deprecation can be shitty to the other person, I
But
guess.
Chemda's not putting her hand out in front of the person's face. Yeah.
Yes.
no,
That's the
not that time. No.
That's the difference. Oh, Lori. Oh, Wells. What are you gonna do? I saw the do you know of the TV
Wait, I
show?
can't let this go.
Yeah.
Let this go. You like 2 per movie. Which one is the one you didn't like? Point Break?
Oh, I actually haven't seen Point Break. I know.
Okay.
We probably
Wow.
have to do it for the podcast. I know it's crazy. So
You should. You should, and you should, and you should. And I think that you will like her in that too.
no, I'm sure that I will. I mean, I love her in everything I've seen. I've only just seen her in 2 things.
Oh, anybody who hasn't seen Point Break, I am recommending it highly. Thank you.
And the original, of course. There's a horrible remake.
Oh yeah. We don't watch the remakes.
Oh,
Right.
we don't know that there's a remake.
We do not acknowledge the remake.
No.
Is it that we're just older? Like, if I saw Point Break when I was older. Would I not have thought it was so cool? Because the remake, 5 minutes in, same thing with Total Recall, the remake, 5 minutes in, I'm like, there's nothing here. I could just tell.
Really?
Yeah.
So
It
the
was-
same with you tried watching Point Break and it wasn't anything?
The remake.
And you didn't like it?
Hated it.
Did you like
Horrible.
the first one?
Loved it. Would
Huh.
marry it. Once
I
we get
have
fluid
married
enough, I'm going to marry it.
Wait until I
Once-
divorce it and then you can marry.
Once society can catch up. So-
Yeah, the remakes are hard, I think, because it does seem like they're just doing an impression of the first one, which is often lightning in a bottle, you know?
Mm.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Because Gary Busey's in there and it's like, you get that he's the same like dipshit side, partner who's like ready to retire and whatever. But there is something with him doing the character, and there is something opposite. What's his face? The bruh guy. What's his name? again?
Keanu?
Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Right.
There's something about all those characters, and Patrick Swayze being called Bodhi for Bodhisattva, like imbibed that vibe with a bunch of other side of him being an asshole. There's him playing that character is a very big deal. Thank you.
And people like those movies. Even if they're a little corny. Total Recall, the Point Break. Just remake Chinatown. Fuck it. Why not?
I just rewatched it. It's a really good movie.
Yeah. So do it
Hot
again.
take.
So why not do
Chinatown
it
is a great
again?
movie. Because
Yeah, I like movie reviews 20 years later. Is it 20 or 40 at this point? Who
Right.
fuck knows? I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you some news. Chemda just saw this, so she'll be up to date. The Friends reunion that we mentioned the other day.
Seen it. I'm so current.
Monica Geller is the only one, Courtney Cox, that wasn't nominated for an Emmy. But the
Oh.
Friends reunion special just got nominated for an Emmy. All 6 of them are producers. So now she has her Emmy nomination finally.
Wait, how do you nominate all of them but not her?
In the past,
I know. What
They-
the
yeah,
Joey?
she wasn't good
crazy.
enough, but they're like, can you wear any more clothes? They're like, that's an Emmy. But Monica and her toilet paper, they didn't care enough.
Joey
Wow.
got an Emmy and Monica didn't. What did
Everybody.
Joey do that Monica didn't?
Right.
Fucking Ross got an Emmy and Monica didn't. That's his sister. Did the parents get one too? What is happening?
Right.
Holy shit.
Right.
What?
The sister didn't get one.
It's an ensemble. She's
Yeah.
also, she ended up marrying Chandler. Chandler got one, she didn't. She had to interact with all these motherfuckers in a very special way. What's her face? Rachel was a cunt when she first met her. She was the nicest one to the hippie one. What's her face? What the hell?
Phoebe.
Right?
Phoebe is probably the only one who I think really deserves an Emmy on that show, but yeah, that is terrible. And I think that was a spiteful choice that somebody made not to nominate Courtney Cox for an Emmy.
Is
And
it a
it's-
coincidence that she got the most work done? I don't think so, Hollywood.
On her
No.
Very
face, yeah.
interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting. And if one of them wasn't going to get one, and I don't mean, like you said, was it Phoebe was the only different character that was like outside of the 6. So she did something different, not Monica. Monica was doing the same things everybody. Wow. Is it because we never wanted her haircut?
If I-
Hollywood.
I never wanted to see her fat. And they had fat Monica, right? So
Yeah.
no, you don't get an award for that, Hollyweird.
Well, after that, she got extra skinny just to make up for it. That wasn't good enough for you. I
Friends-
could see her backbone through her front.
I know, but
Oh,
if I
come
get
on.
my lube out, don't surprise me. Earned 62 total nominations throughout its run, including 5 for Aniston, 6 for Kudrow. Let's see, 3 for LeBlanc, 1 for Matthew Perry, 1 for David Schwimmer. Aniston and Kudrow each won once. The show was named Outstanding Comedy, but Monica didn't get anything. But in
That's a
this
bummer.
reunion, she cries the most.
I did not see the reunion.
We just told you about it.
You
Yeah.
caught up. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Well,
Yeah.
you have to now. It's good. It's good enough for an Emmy, right?
There's a lot of things that are supposedly good enough for Emmys that I probably won't watch.
Not Monica. Holy shit.
But I will watch the new Scream movie, which she's already signed on for, because that's one of my favorite franchises.
I think that's one of those few franchises that I didn't get sucked into for whatever reason. Other than that, I do have that disease where I see crap. Purge,
No, I don't think
Saw,
it's going to be
everything.
crap. I mean, maybe it will be crap, but
I think, Keith, you didn't really connect with that set of actors that were like just too young for you. Does that make
maybe they were
sense?
too young, and I don't care about young people dying in
in
movies.
Scream,
Yeah.
The
You mean
first
when it
Scream
came
was
out?
great.
Yeah, it was kind of like a new Brat Pack, right? And I don't
Yeah.
think I cared about them.
I mean,
I know
think
this is a
that-
controversial take. I'm not here to change your mind, but I do have a list of things that I'm going to make your husband make you watch.
okay.
That's all I know. Emily Panic, you want to check out our website. It's emilypanic.com. All the info is right there. But the Instagram, the tweets, all that is a what's
Gem.
that? What's that thing again? Sorry, a big, pretty, angry.
Oh, a pretty big mouth.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I'm like, oh no. It's very nice meeting you. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Great to meet you guys. I'm gonna go watch the Friends reunion right now.
Yeah, you'll.
I apologize.
Did you finish it, Chemda?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched it in parts, but I got through it. Don't.
Yeah,
Huh?
watch one part, you watch the whole thing because you really get everybody's vibe. Like as soon as Joey talks, you're like, oh, you made it through Hollywood and you're okay. And what's his face? Chandler talks and you're like, you are still not doing all right. There might be some hidden gems in your pocket right now.
Tell me that's not an Emmy.
Ooh.
Oh, he's slurring everything? That's an award of some kind. I don't know what, but of some kind. Don't forget that we're on social media under Keith and the Girl. That includes Reddit. That includes YouTube, where we're posting some exclusive material. That's a fancy way for saying, go see some shit that's not in this episode. We'll talk to you soon.